Building an OFA chart is dependent on what we call probe and rotation values. So when you build a chart by going to File, New, and Chart and selecting an instrument, you're going to see in the settings a probe value and a rotation value. And what this does is define how the periods are displayed. So rather than using time or number of ticks or a fixed chart reversal or seconds or volume characteristics or anything else, what we're doing is defining a move in one direction or the other, then countered by a series of ticks in the opposite direction. So in this case, with a 6-4 chart, which is what we have over here, and you can see it up above, price has to move at least 6 ticks consecutively in one direction before a rotation can begin. So that means that it can move several more prices than 6 in one direction before the rotation occurs, or just 6. So if this particular period opened, let me move this over a little bit. Yeah, gonna have a little trouble here. If this particular period opened at 1975 quarter and went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it would not have completed the probe value. However, it opened and downticked, went down one price level, didn't continue 5 more price levels down to make it a probe down, but instead then started upticking from the low of 1975. So it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ticks consecutively up, and then it rotated the rotation value of 4, which would be 1, 2, 3, and then opened here 4 at 75.50 to create a new period. Now, depending on how you're looking at the market, you may want a more long-term view or a shorter view. You can make all the adjustments needed in the data series window. So if you would like to change the probe and rotation value or look at a market in several different views, for example, in a 12-4 probe and rotation as well as a 6-4, which is very common with the ES, we can then load a couple of days of data. And we can compare the two side by side. So now we're looking at the exact same data for the 4 last periods of the day on Friday, and you can see that instead of the timestamps being 15, 1503, 1539, 1612, really all of the data that is here is included in this particular period. Actually, it looks like it starts here because we can see the 40 at the top here. This was the rotation of this period here. And then all 3 of these periods are now condensed into this one, where we see the 8 on the bottom and we see the 548 on the top. And so it gives us a way to look at the market in several different views, but still being defined by directional activity, which is critical for monitoring order flow. If we were to look at this in a time-based chart, where maybe this was a hour-long period or even 5 minutes of a period, it may have been a situation where the market moved down and up and down and up and down and up, all in that same period of time. We wouldn't have any way to really relatively compare what took place at any given price, because the only thing that we want to track is an actual directional move. So by defining what that directional move is, we're able to do that. Now, as a rule of thumb, you'll want to look at any given market for its basic swings or directional movements, and you can easily do that with, say, a 1-minute chart or a 30-second chart or something like that, and build your probe and rotations based on how you're seeing small swings in the market move. Does the market move over the course of a very short period of time? Does it generally move a couple of points, as is the case with the ES, or sometimes it moves, in 3 or 4 point increments? Well, that's relative to the probe value, and then from there you can adjust the rotation value as some percentage of that move that you'd like to see as a retracement that then creates another directional move. So again, it's something that there is no right or wrong way to build a probe and rotation chart. It's something that you'll need to play with, given the instrument that you're using and what your overall objectives are for how you're looking at the market. Or if you'd like to participate in one of Mark's classes here at OFA, he obviously walks you through what he feels are the appropriate settings for various instruments.